What's happening? What's happening? It's your man, KD Wilson here, student success and educator empowerment speaker. Man, I am absolutely honored and thrilled to be with you all today, talking about just the importance and the power in the minority male. Now, I know that might sound like something that, for many of you, you're like, man, come on now. Why are we having this conversation? Nobody's more important than anybody else. All lives matter. And I totally get all that. I understand. Trust me, I understand. But at the same time, you have to take a look at the history of this country. You have to take a look at the fact there are still stereotypes, prejudice, and so many things that are still pushing towards the direction of our minority males. I happen to be one, so I know what I'm talking about. Whether it's in terms of education, business, relationships, or just societal norms and expectations, as minority men, we have to make sure we understand what our place is in this world. And that is one of importance. That is one of great necessity. That is one that makes it very clear to everyone else that our lives also have value. That's not to take a stand on one side of the aisle or another. It's simply to say, as young minority men like yourself, you need to know that you are worth it, that you are powerful beyond measure, that there is so much that you still have to accomplish in your lifetime. And we absolutely need you to freaking win. So again, my name is KD Wilson, man. I am a transparent, honest, shoot it straight kind of guy, and I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So give me just a second to share my screen with you, and we are going to get jumping. Give me just a second. All right, and here we go. So if you can see my screen, give me a thumbs up. Awesome. That means you can see me. Now, yes, I don't have the same amount of hair that I used to. I cut it off. As a matter of fact, had you caught me over the summer, I had an afro, man, that would have filled out this whole screen. I wish I could be there with you right now, but we're making the best of what we have. So we are going to utilize our virtual just platforms. And in that, if you happen to be on social media, man, or you want to shoot me an email, you say, hey, KD, I had some things to share with something you said, but I didn't want to say it in front of my friends or in front of the program director or counselors. I wasn't sure exactly how to process my thoughts when you asked that question or you presented that thought, right? And you want to share it with me later, I'd love to hear it, man. I'm not just in this thing for one day. As far as I'm concerned, we are friends. Well, consider me big brother, if you will, right? I'm here to help you and to help push you and propel you forward. So if you want to keep up with me, cool. But again, here's my honesty. When it comes to being who we are, when it comes to being who I am, I don't lie about it. I want you to know that you're not talking to somebody that's been through a bunch of nothing. I didn't have a silver spoon and a bunch of resources and great things coming my way coming up. That's also not some boohoo story about how terrible life was, because I'm still here, right? But I do want to share some things with you about my life, a few things, just a few, so that you understand that more times than not, I can relate. And maybe it's not so much that I can relate to you. Maybe you can relate to me. So I grew up in an atmosphere where, unfortunately, my father, actually many men in my family, struggle with alcohol and substance abuse. To my understanding, I'm possibly the first, if not one of the first in a very, very long time to break that cycle, right? So obviously, when you're talking about substance abuse, you're talking about just an imbalance, a disruption in life. My parents fought every single day, y'all, every single day, man. They argued and just fought all the time. It was the norm. But I grew up in the military, man. So I went to 6 elementary schools, 2 middle schools, and 1 high school. And I'll tell you right now, when you move so much, you learn to become a bit of a loner. You learn to become independent. You learn to stop trusting people, because even at a young age, you don't want to have a best friend, and your heart gets broken, man, because your ace is out the window. You never see him again, right? Now, I don't know how many of you might have had experiences in things like foster care or Maybe having to go live with a relative or a loved one because your home life wasn't stable. I don't know where you come from. I'm not judging you. I'm just letting you know. I understand what it feels like not to be able to plant your feet and say, this is where I belong. This is home. I know what that feels like, right? My parents split up, man, got bullied real bad in middle school, dealing with a bunch of junk, man. Look, my high school senior counselor told me that I wasn't college material and I was wasting my time applying. Mind you, I wasn't skipping school, fighting people, getting in trouble. I was a kid full of potential, but very little vision. I couldn't see past my own feet. And many of you right now, I can tell you that, man, you are so full of powerful potential, but some of you are squandering it. Some of you are wasting it. Some of you all are waiting for someone to drop something in your hand. And I love you enough to tell you the honest truth, man, it ain't coming. You're going to have to ball that hand up into a fist and punch your way out of that battle. I don't mean hurting people. I don't mean becoming violent. I mean, you're going to have to be aggressive when it comes to your doubts. You got to be aggressive when it comes to your fears. You can't just sit back and take it. You got to take the fight to your issues. But where I come from is not what I became. And that is what most important here. You need to know that you don't have to be what you come from. So listen, I'm a faithful man. I'm a two-time gold medal national champion in USA track and field. What I didn't tell you was when I did get into college, the college coach told me I wasn't good enough to be on his team. Somebody was right, somebody was wrong. I'm an honors grad from North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie pride all the way through. I also have my master's from Duke University. So don't tell me we can't come from an HBCU and end up at a school maybe that doesn't look like, walk like, talk like us and still operate at a dominant level. I graduated in the top percentile of my class. I'm a former teacher, former first responder, former youth minister. I'm a nationally recognized speaker. I'm a husband, a father of 3. I'm a 5-time author. I want you to know if I can do it, you better be doggone sure you can do it too. Because how you see yourself, young men, dictates and determines how you see the rest of the world. That means if I have on purple shades, I see the world as purple. If I have on orange shades, the world is orange. If I have on red shades, what? You see the world as red. What lens are you looking through when you see yourself and the rest of the world? Do you see yourself as being capable and able? Do you see yourself as being intelligent? Do you see yourself as being handsome and strong? Do you see yourself as being someone that is deserving of wealth? How do you see yourself is the question. Because here's the thing, if you don't dictate and determine who and what you are, somebody will tell you what you can and cannot be. And that is why I asked the question, do you see what I see? Because I couldn't see so much of myself, y'all. I couldn't see the true me when I was growing up. It took me too long to do it. And my goal, my heart, my dream is to help you get further along than I was when I was in your shoes. So we're talking about how to realize your worth, dominate life's obstacles, and achieve massive success. Because freedom, as C.L. Scott said, is the beginning of all freedoms when it comes to the mind. Freedom of the mind, gentlemen, is the beginning of all freedoms. If you can be free up here, can't nobody stop you. What do you mean can't nobody stop me, Katie? What do you see in this picture? Prison cells, right? What do you see in this particular picture again when it comes to those cells? You see an open door. What does that mean? That means that more times than not, we hold the key to the prisons that we live in. Some of you have been mistreated. Some of you have been abused. Some of you have been neglected and hurt. Some of you have been flat out left for dead. I don't say that lightly. I say it with heaviness in my heart, but I also say it with optimism in my eyes to let you know that what you have been through, what tried to stop you yesterday, failed. The fact you're here right now, guys, come on now, is proof that yesterday could not stop you. If it could have beat you, you wouldn't be here. But here you are. Freedom of the mind, boys, is the beginning of all of the freedoms. The moment you get free up here, it's over. So I need you to get free up here so you can be free right here when it comes to moving with your hands. What are your movements? And it starts with understanding these principles. The first is purpose. The late, great Dr. Miles Monroe said this: when the purpose of a thing is unknown, abuse is inevitable. Fellas, some of y'all are abusing your life because you don't realize you have purpose. You feel like you're here on a mistake. You are not a mistake. You were born on purpose, with purpose, and for a purpose. Act like it. Katie, I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this lifetime, man. You don't have to know the full picture to take a step. But you cannot sit where you are and expect anything to change. You need to know that no matter who told you what, I don't care if it was your mama, I don't care if it was your daddy, I don't care if it was your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, or your teacher, and I don't care. If somebody told you that you're a mistake, they're a liar, and tell them to come see me. You are here on purpose. Your life has value. You are the only one that can do what you can do in the way that only you can do it. Katie, it doesn't matter that, oh, it doesn't matter that you're here. Oh, really? It doesn't matter. So I'm wasting my time then. I'm talking to myself then. I'm spending time away from my family right now to talk to nobody. Now listen, other people might be stupid. I'm not. Which means that what you need to do to accomplish all that you need to do in this lifetime can be done. You're here on purpose. The second thing is what? Vision. Vision, right? What? George Washington Carver said this: when there is no vision, there is no hope. Where there is no vision, there is no hope. You need to understand that you have to be able to see in order to be. You will become what you see in life. But here's the issue, guys. You cannot be a copycat when you are an original. Too many of you are looking at everybody else trying to determine what you're going to be one day. Look at yourself. Look at them for example if you want to, but do not try to be the next when you're the only. You got to have vision. You got to be able to say to yourself, man, Katie, I can see something. This is what I want. This is what I'm after. This is why I'm doing it. And here I come. Where there is no vision, there is no hope. Too many of you feel hopeless right now because your eyes are closed. Will you open your eyes for me, fellas? Open your eyes. And that starts with asking yourself this question: what self-defeating thought is blurring your vision? What self-defeating thought is blurring your vision? What is it right now that's making you think that maybe you're not able to do again what you believe you're capable of doing? What's holding you back? What's that thing that says to you in the morning when you first wake up, this is going to be a rough day? Like what's that defeating thought? Do you tell yourself you're ugly? Do you tell yourself you're dumb? Do you tell yourself you're poor? Do you tell yourself you're weak? Like, what's that self-defeating thought? I'll give you a second. I would love to hear your answers in the chat. And if you have the heart and the desire to do so, I would love to even hear your voice. Feel free to unmute yourself and toss it out. I want to hear what you have to say, man. Right? But understand, I am not doing this to pick at you. I'm doing this because I need you to identify what's holding you back so we can beat it. Because for me, man, I used to feel so weak and I felt unloved. And because I felt unloved, that contributed to my insecurities, making me feel weak. And because I felt weak, I felt insecure. And because I felt insecure, I started hanging around people, right? You follow me? That were doing things I wouldn't normally do because I was trying to do what? Recreate myself. in the image of somebody else that had what I needed, that had what I wanted, because I couldn't see. What's next? Commitment. When it comes to your life, we're talking about purpose, vision, and then what? Commitment. What do you see here, fellas? What do you see? Some of y'all like some dude with some tight pants and some hot waters. Give a man a break, okay? And listen, he got some guns on him. He got some guns on him. Look at that brother forearm. I'm telling you, you talking trash. He get a chokehold, you might be out, right? But what's he doing? What's he doing? He's skydiving. Here's the thing. There is a space in between his foot and that plane, which means that what? There's no going back. He committed. Have you committed to your life? Are you willing to jump? Have you taken a second to say to yourself, I see where I am. I see where I want to go. I see what's in my way. Let's get it. Or have you taken a step back, sat on the couch and said, oh, well, this is my life and it is what it is. When it comes to you being you, do not let society, social media, communities, social norms, again, define you. You have the ability, the equal power of any other man to do exactly what your heart sets out to do, but you have to define what that thing is first. And when you figure it out, don't just stand there with an open door, jump. Because in jumping, you find out how courageous you truly are. In jumping, you are free. In jumping, you understand there's something on the other side of that mountain trying to hold you back. In jumping, you get a chance to see something that very few people see. Life for what it really is worth. And that, my friends, only comes when you start seeing yourself as you truly are. So, hey, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time to hang out with me. That's just a snippet of a minority male initiative or program or conference. And I've had the honor and the privilege of speaking to, again, young men of color, Black and brown, and so on, nationwide. It is near and dear to my heart because there's such a need to reinforce greatness, positivity, and power and strength in all the right ways. And this is not classifying gender and sexuality and the rest of this stuff. It's just saying, can you see the value in your life? And that's really what I'm getting at. So if I can be of service to you, either virtually, of course, or in person, please let me know. Feel free to shoot me an email, kd@imkdwilson.com, or hit me up, www.imkdwilson.com. I'll talk to y'all soon. Love y'all. Peace.